This week on Midwest Outdoors, it's all about electronics on the ice. Troy Peterson walks you through every major category of fish finder and reveals the pros and cons of each to help you be more successful this season. You're watching Midwest Outdoors magazine, since 1967, helping you enjoy the outdoors. Sponsored in part by Rapala, Abu Garcia, Flow Fast Fuel Transfer Systems, Huntworth Gear, and Wildlife Research Center 99%.
Hey everyone, Troy Peterson, Mr. Bluegill. There are so many different types of electronics out there, and we get questions all the time on, what should I use? You've got cameras, you've got flashers, you've got LCDs, you've got, the Marcums, Vexilars, the Lowrance, the Garmins, Humminbirds. Every single one of these manufacturers has something that is applicable to helping break down a body of water, and we're gonna show you some of those methods today. We're gonna have some fun. Stay tuned with us, and we're gonna get out of here. In my opinion, one of the greatest tools for scanning large areas and really kind of pinpointing where some fish are and covering a lot of water really quick is using a Humminbird 360. It's a 360-degree sonar. This guy here will spin around underneath the water, giving you 180-degree from right underneath the ice all the way down and out as far as 150 feet, giving you a full 300-foot circumference, scanning in about 9 seconds. So the negative, I guess, of having something like this is it's big. As you can see, it's very long, it's cumbersome. You have to have a good battery, a pretty good sized battery. I'm running a Marcum 30 amp hour battery to make sure we have enough juice all day long. And it's pricey. Some of these systems can run thousands of dollars. All right, so what I'm gonna do here, Jeff's gonna drill some holes. I'm gonna put this thing down. We're gonna scan an area, and the beautiful part is it's very precise. We've got it set to an 80-foot range. So as I drop this guy down, it's gonna start up here and scan an area. Each one of these rings represents 20 feet, and it looks like here we've got some white marks kind of moving around as this thing spins around. You can actually see which way these fish are moving, and we've got some schools, Jeff. It looks about 40 to 50 feet in front of us. So if you want to go drill some holes there, we'll grab the flasher and come down and see if we can get right on top of these things.
Absolutely, let's get it done. That should be about perfect. Let's try this out. All right, let's see how good I did on.
Come on, 1, 2, 3. There he is. And we got him.
Give me a hand here.
Oh, just a little crappie, little guy. That guy is full of energy, man. He came rocketing up.
But that right there is the proof in the pudding, like you were trying to teach me before. Now, I'm an old dog, and I can always learn the new tricks. This stuff is truly, truly amazing that we were able to be there, pace it off, and find the fish. I mean, how are there any fish left in the lake?
Let's go back 5 years. Even with mapping and GPS and sonar and flashers and all that, that's all fine and dandy. But to do what we just did in like 5 minutes would take us, sometimes 50 holes and a couple hours. And there's still more down there.
Let's catch them. Got them on there?
There he is. Ooh, lift bite. Oh, jeepers, my reel is screwed up. That's
all right.
Bluegill.
What do you got here? Fighting like a gill, huh?
Ooh, it's fighting like a bluegill.
Well, you are Mr. Bluegill.
There is another good one. I think this is another bluegill too. Ooh,
oh, nice crappie.
Nicer crappie.
There you go. Well, one right after the other.
These, the 360 definitely did not lie. That school of fish is down here. Having the 360 is nice for locating. And like I said, it's not meant for everybody. The affordability, the size, everything about it isn't your everyday unit. As you can see here in front of me, I've got two of the leading LCDs on the market, the Marcum MX7 GPS and then the Humminbird Helix 7. And what's nice about these units is They are a all-season type of a graph that you can take, put in your boat. You can use it in the summertime, whether you put it on your boat or on your kayak, and then take it off and use it for the winter. These units are more practical for everybody to use. They have GPS, they have a standard 2D graph, they have a flasher mode. They've got vertical vertical graphs for guys that don't like to read the round dial. There's so many different options that you can use on these LCDs, and they're fully customizable, and they're just more practical for an everyday angler. One of the most innovative, sonars on the market here in the last couple of years for ice anglers has been that Garmin Panoptix or the Live Scope. This happens to be the new Lowrance Active Target. What it's doing is it's using live imaging, almost kind of like an ultrasound, like you're looking at a baby in a belly. It's that live imaging that's underwater. There's a lot of benefits, but there's also a lot of negative parts of this as well. The benefits is you can see through the weeds, you can see through cribs or structure, because whatever is down there, it's not going to move. Structure doesn't move, but the fish that are swimming through the structure does, and that is going to pick everything up, in a live form. As you can see, even on here, we've got fish. You can see their tails as they're swimming around. As they, come perpendicular to the transducer, you can tell what type of species these fish are. And the other thing is exactly where they are at in the water column, if they're up or down, near the bottom, swimming away, swimming towards you. So kind of like the 360, you've got your depth range here, and you've got your range out, how far away you are from the transducer. By tapping the screen, it's going to tell you, how far down it is and how far out it actually is, so you can get right on top of these schools of fish. So there's a lot of benefits of that. The other thing, the negative parts is it's big, it's very cumbersome, it needs a lot of power, so you have to have a lot of battery. And the fact that you need big hole because the transducer and all this extra cable is very cumbersome to carry around. Again, it's not for everybody. It is expensive, thousands of dollars to get into something like this. But again, you can use it in your boat all year round. So another tool for your arsenal for the ice anglers, definitely worth taking a look at, and definitely going to help you catch more fish.
Troy, I got something big here.
What do you got going on here?
I have no idea. I'm going to tell you it's bigger than a bluegill.
My guess is you're going to probably have a Smallie on. If it's not a bluegill?
Yeah.
There's a lot of big Smallies in these lakes up in the northern parts of
fighting.
Wisconsin. Everybody thinks they're such a docile fish in the wintertime, and they are until they bite, and then they kind of turn into madhouses.
I tell you what, I watched everything you told me. I switched over and tried this Humminbird, and it was awesome. I got to see him come up and smoke it. Obviously, ooh, I think he's right here, buddy. I didn't clean the slush out of the hole. We were in a panic to get going.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it is a Smallie. Look at this thing.
Oh.
Now, that's fun on ultralight.
Look at good old bronze back.
Oh, that is
A little
awesome.
tungsten 2-pound test line.
Check that out. Compared to the fish. Just a small tungsten, little plastic on the back. Well, that's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, boy, they're just such pretty fish.
To be quite honest, I could catch those all day.
All right, it's important to get these guys back down. Season is closed for them, so we will let him go right away. Get him home.
That was fun. Nice job, buddy. Isn't this crazy? You just don't know what you're going to catch up here.
No, you don't. These things are so much fun.
Wow, he's really fighting.
We were talking about these long rods. These are the new Evolution series from Elliott. Paul and Greg Thorne have been in the rod business forever. And geez, the nice thing about these things is look how much power I got back here.
Exactly.
You can still catch a ton of, small, the bluegills and everything, but if you do happen to catch into, a big walleye or Smallie or anything that's got some size, you've got the power to handle these fish.
Oh, I just saw a flash go by.
Oh, look at the donkey.
Holy cow.
Look at the size of that Smallie.
I bet he's almost tipping 4.
He's probably pushing 4 pounds.
He is so heavy. He's as big as Troy. Look at that. So, well, you did an awesome job on that. You know what? Here's the other thing. I'm using a way smaller rod, and I have lost 2 in a row, probably just about like this size. That long rod, you were able to really muster through that fight.
Yeah, you know, good line, good rod. And look at the hook set on that thing. Just absolutely
right where you
perfect,
need it.
right in the lip. And that's just a 4mm tungsten. Nothing special about that at all. You know, just bluegill stuff here.
Oh, look at that. It just fell out,
Just fell out, so yeah, that is awesome. We gotta get a couple stills of her and we're gonna get her back in the water.
Well, Troy right now is going to drill a hole. We're trying to find where the active fish are. There's been some cribs in the area. There's some timber in the area, and the Marcum here will definitely be able to tell us what's down there. So,
we get asked quite often, what kind of electronics, you know, do we need a flasher? Do we need a camera? And really, you use both of them together. You know, the flasher's only going to show you so much. You know, the 3D imaging that the 360 offers will give you a little bit better view. But really, when we want to look and see what is going on, what type of fish, what the structure is holding, we'll pull out our cameras. And, you know, there's many different models. You've got bigger screens, you've got standard definition, you've got HD, you've got ones that'll record, you've got ones that'll show direction, temperature, all kinds of valuable information. If you're going to set up in like a fish house and you want that bigger screen, you want to plug it in and have it up on your big screen, a lot of these companies have ports that you can actually hook these things up to a bigger TV. One of the great aspects of a camera is being able to use it as a really good learning tool. So let's say you're watching your flasher and these fish are coming in and they're not biting. That's when I'll take my camera, drop it down, and see how these fish are reacting. And a lot of times, you know, these bluegills or perch or crappies will come up to a bait, and I call it the suck and blow. You know, they'll suck it in and blow it out before you can even really see it or feel it on a spring bobber, but you'll see it on a camera, and that can be very, very useful information to, you know, help you catch fish when those fish are in a really negative mood. There are drawbacks to cameras, however. When you're fishing in cloudy water, you're not going to be able to see very far. With a flasher or type of electronic that you drop a transducer down in the hole, you can cover a very wide array of ground underneath you. This is going to look in a very narrow picture going straight in front of you. You're not going to be able to see what's going around behind you unless you constantly sit there and turn the cord. The battery life on these cameras typically aren't going to last the full day, so you are going to need some external power sources if you plan on using these things all day long. So there are disadvantages, there are advantages. You just have to choose which ones are going to fit your style of fishing and go from there. When you hear the word Vexilar, instantly you associate that with any type of electronics that are on the market for most ice anglers. Now, granted, Vexilar was the pioneer in ice fishing electronics going back many years, and over time, brands like Marcum and Humminbird and Lowrance have also jumped in the game, but really there are still two major players when it comes time to mechanical flashers, and that is the Marcum and the Vexilar. So what we got here is we're on top of a cabbage bed. There's a lot of standing weeds. And the nice thing about a flasher is because it's mechanical, not digital, you're sending a pulse down through the weeds and it's coming back up and it's reading it instantaneously. There's really no delay. On the Vexilar, you know, we're able to see our jig, and once you get down towards the bottom, you're gonna see that flicker. This unit here is actually in low power mode, and with some of the more advanced Vexilars, you are able to get a little bit more refined to be able to kind of get through those weeds a little bit better. But again, you're able to see, you know, your flickering bait. You're going to be able to see that flicker inside the red here. That's thinking that, you know, okay, there's something down there. It's returning a target, and as a fish or as your bait swims through that darker area, you're going to get that flicker. And we've got a fish coming up right now. Let's see if we can get him to eat. And a little bluegill. With the Marcum, they've got a nice feature on their M5. They've got a feature called Super Fine Line. And what that does is it narrows up the segments, kind of removing all that stuff that you really don't want to see, and you just want to kind of pick out your jig here, which allows you then to get down into the stalks, into the weeds where those fish are cruising around, still being able to see your bait and not having any other clutter get in the way. So now we were able to see our jig, we were able to see that fish come up with those weeds. Now let's show you what it looks like on an LCD screen. So I'm guessing there's a really good thick weed base that's down there. But what you see is this solid red lines here. So being that, you've got a bunch of weeds down there, the returns are coming back. You can't get that flicker. All you're going to get is a solid red line. Obviously nothing's moving. So we're going to drop our jig. You can see our jig coming up here. We're going to drop our jig down into the weeds, and then it just disappears. Once you get in the LCD chart mode, it pretty much disappears and is almost impossible to find anything down in those weeds.
I've been using the flasher style units. I've been guiding professionally for around 12 years. And for a series of years, I guided every single day in North Dakota. We've actually had these drop out of pickup trucks at 30 miles an hour, roll, turn them back on, and they go.
Yep.
So the best part about it is they're kind of an inexpensive way to find the fish. They're very durable. However, I don't have the technology that you guys were showing us earlier before on the LCDs and the 360, but this is a run and gun kind of a thing for me.
It's meant for everybody. Anybody can use a flasher, and I tell you what, once you start using one, learning how to use one, they're your eyes below the ice. If you don't have electronics to see, whether it be an LCD or flasher, you are really missing the boat. And like you say, they're super inexpensive. You can get into them for anywhere from $229, $250 all the way up to $500, $600 for a flasher. So
exactly.
They're very affordable for anybody that wants to get into ice fishing.
They totally are.
As technology advances, ice fishing units are going to get bigger. They're going to get more technologically advanced, which requires more power. And as that technology advances, so too is the power technology. There's quite a few companies out there that have taken the advantage of lithium and put it into these small batteries to make it easier on charging, longer run times, but more importantly is the weight. These batteries weigh about 2 pounds compared to 8. You take 6 pounds out of a unit and now you're really getting a lot more portable. Another option for guys, this universal shuttle from Marcum, you've got the ability to use USB ports for charging your phone, running GoPros, even utilizing it for lights. You can accessorize and put some arms on here and use it to power underwater cameras. And again, is super lightweight. So long run times, lightweight, easier to charge, and they're going to last you 10, 12 years versus the lead acid battery that may only last you 1 or 2, and you're going to constantly having to to replace that. So one of the downfalls of lithium is the price. Off the shelf, your initial cost is going to be about $100 for a battery and a charger. And it is important to use the proper charger for these lithium batteries so you don't run into issues. That being said, over time, these lithiums are going to save you money, but it is an initial upfront cost.
It's been a good day. I tell you what, you taught me a lot. With all this new technology that's out there.
You run a resort up here in the Wisconsin Northwoods. It was Indian Shores.
That is correct.
Beautiful place, beautiful accommodations, awesome food, cold beer, good drinks. We really enjoyed coming up and visiting your place. I guarantee I'm going to be back. But if you're coming up and you're looking to do a trip with your family or just to get away for a weekend with the guys, give these guys a call. Jeff is very knowledgeable on the lakes up in the Northwoods, and you don't need all this fancy electronics. When you got a guy like Jeff, he can point you in the right direction. He's up here every day. He knows what's going on, and he'll get you on a bite.
Like I've always told everybody, we're always within 20 minutes of 30 lakes out of the resort, and if you want to come up and spend the weekend with us, we'll try to get you on the fish.
I'm Troy Peterson, Mr. Bluegill. Thanks for coming along today. We'll catch you guys on the water next time.